Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 563, and today we're doing battle with Norra Lillia. And so this will be our first Lillia video, I think. It's a champion I've been trying to make work since the release of the Dreamlit Paths, and I haven't had too much success. I've tried to chase down the value package using the sleeps over and over again. I've tried to chase down some of the spirit and boost based packages. I wasn't happy with it. I tried to chase down the spritlings. I didn't really like that either. We did have our sweet Altar of Unity deck, which just doesn't work with the spirit mechanic, and so it's been kind of tough to really find a home for Lillia. But amidst all my brewing, amidst all my cooking, the card that I was actually most impressed with was, surprise, surprise, a story, and that would be the Heart of the Tree. And so if you're not familiar with it, it's the most expensive story in the game. It's 7 mana. It really needs to come down and do something, and it does actually do quite a bit of work. So on the level 1, you get to heal your Nexus 3 and summon a Spritlings, a nice defensive measure to help you get yourself into the third act. At level 2, you grant allies everywhere spirit, and then at level 3, the big game ender, you manifest a card that costs 8 or more. You reduce its cost by half, rounded up. And so what we're doing from this is I initially started using the Heart of the Tree in Spritlings decks and spirit-based decks. I wasn't super happy with it there. It was clearly the corn within the nugget, the corn within the nugget, I'm sorry, the corn within the turd. Let me get my poop references up and in order, but I wasn't happy with those decks. And so what I'm hoping that we're going to be getting here out of the Norra deck is a good home for the Heart of the Tree. And this is a card that does work exceptionally well with Norra, right? It has a created units ability, so it's going to help level up Norra. The big boost in terms of a Norra deck is granting allies everywhere spirit, so as we summon these big collection of portaled units, they're all going to get the bonuses from this. And then the Norra decks do give us enough time to just sit around and stall until we can get up to turn 9 or turn 10 that we need to come in and activate the third act on this, and then just drop Atacan or whatever on the board and finish off the game. And so this is the core of what we're trying to build around today, not so much Lillia as much as Heart of the Tree. And so it's not to say that this deck doesn't have any uses for Lillia in the sleeps. We have Mr. Root in here to give us an additional card draw. We have the Portal Scholar as the means to put more portals within the deck, and then whatever nonsense we generate from the portals, there's a decent chance that you'll hit a summon ability, and you might get a little bit of help there. But we have the one copy of Lillia in here still. She gives us a little bit of support for what we're trying to do. Otherwise, the main problems that I've run into with the Norra-based decks is Norra is quite good it's shutting down opposing aggression, right? We're able to just clog the board full of units. If the opponent isn't able to elusive, overwhelm, or rally, we can just block and block and block and block, and we'll eventually grind them down. The place where we tend to struggle are going to be decks that are able to go slower than us, right? So decks with the Elder Dragon in it, decks with Mordekaiser in it, these decks that are really aiming to just go beyond turn 10 tend to give us a lot of problems. And so the way that we're hoping to fight against those decks is we're hoping to already be good enough against the fast ones, but against the slow ones, we've got the full 3 copies of Early Bird, along with 3 copies of Eclectic Collection to give us additional ways to finish off the game. The main reason I'm actually in here playing Conchologist today is to have a unit that is capable of generating more Early Birds to help give us a little bit of an advantage in those Elder Dragon-based matchups. The last things to kind of call out within this deck, we have 3 copies of Blooming Bud. Very happy with this in terms of either being able to protect our own units with the sleep, use it for value on something like Portal Scholar to get the additional portals, or to more commonly shut down an opposing unit for the turn. Very versatile card within this. And then we have 2 copies of Nopify, 2 copies of Deny to help us stall into the later game, protect our big stuff once it does come down on board. And so that is it. That is the deck we'll be doing battle with today. Let's go ahead, jump on in, see if we can't get in a good game or 2. Probably 3. I should say that. Let's say if we can't get in a good game or 3, much like the Jace deck from the previous video, these Norra decks tend to take much longer in terms of how long the game goes. I try to keep the video around 30 to 45 minutes, and 5 games we're going to be here into next week. And so we'll see how it goes. We'll stick around here. We'll try and get in 3. Hopefully the good stuff comes up quick and we can get some good chit-chatting about what's happening there. All right, what do we got? Looks like a game starting. I got my sound messed up real quick. Let me get that turned up. Yesterday I spent all day sitting around just grinding ladder, and I had what's it called, Silicon Valley on the old side monitor, and so it's too noisy with everything going on. So alrighty, I think I'm fine to just hang on to one Conchologist here. It gives us some early game stuff to do, but I would rather be finding portal-based units. There's a Norra, exactly what we're looking for, but Junk Construct would have been nice as well. I'm curious how much a Lux Noxus deck is going to be able to deal with a turn 2 Norra. It doesn't strike me as the kind of deck that's going to be able to do a lot about this. And then I feel like their answer is going to be just playing a Challenger in the next turn. And we have a lot of ways to interact with a Challenger. And so I think this Norra should be primed and ready to come out here and do a bit of work. I could protect her with the sleep. That might be well, I guarantee you that's the safer way to do this. Just let the opponent kind of come out into combat, and then we'll just sleep the Norra away. But I think this is going to be fine. Losing her is a bit unfortunate, but it's going to take the opponent quite a few cards and quite a bit of work to get themselves out of this. Wow, just immediately hitting quick attack, huh? That's not so bad. That's not a bad way to start your day. So do we want to get the Conchologist down? I'm fairly tempted with this board to just try and Portal Palooza next turn. So let's hang on to the Conchologist. Maybe we'll drop a Ghastly Band. It doesn't seem all that necessary. Let's just Portal Palooza. 2 units turned up. Well done, fam. Just put both units right on top. Now, we did this backwards, right? We should have put the Paka Cub over on the left to get that Hallowed bonus. I forgot that we got the Hallowed bonus off of that other unit. That would have been a little bit more effective. And then a powerful, powerful hit with the Grotesque Gift coming down, giving us a way to... Shit. I meant to pie toss this Rune Squire. I did not mean to play the Ghostly Band. But nonetheless, the Grotesque Gift was a powerful hit coming in and shrinking down the Lux. Yeah, this definitely looks worse now with this Challenger unit on the board staring at Lux. I would have definitely preferred to have gotten him off the board. Let's see if we can't get our chance now. If opponent plays a combat trick to get out of this, I don't particularly care. And a big boy to finish things off. Sure thing. Alright, so I think as long as we just come out and prevent as much damage as we can, we're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. And so let's just put as much Overwhelm health as we can in front of the Razor Mace. We'll throw away the Junk Construct. We still get to keep the Paka Cub in the back line. Maybe it'll get in another Nexus Strike, who knows? I think that all seems okay. But as it comes with this, like, this red barbed Razor Mace running around, we should be pretty okay in terms of being able to just start to sleep it after this turn. But I'm going to go ahead and get a little Ezreal off of the board. If opponent's going to start playing boost type cards, I would prefer it to hit the smallest number of units as possible. Send it. This Paka Cub has put in the work today. Ooh, fallen to 7, huh? Giving us an additional blocker. I'm on board. I'm on board. And so what I'm looking to do here, I think, I'm just going to look to drop the Ichor, take the 3 bank into the next turn. You know, if we get into a combat, we can sleep off the red barbed Razor Mace, and then ideally, we're going to be running out the Heart of the Tree. All the trees coming through. What's going on here? Giving Lux some spirit. Sure. The Blighted Battle Axe. I'm just gonna pass. You know, I want to be able to sleep off this red barbed razor mace, and I like having the mana behind so that we have ways to play deny or something if we need to. So we could look to just double sleep here. I don't think I'm excited about that. I think I'm a little bit more interested in just taking down the razor mace. And then, it's like I wanted to keep the deny and stuff going into the next turn. He's only got one card left. I think that this is going to be okay. Right, if he doesn't have the mana for Might, but if he was going to play Might, then we could potentially get a takedown. And now we get to like drop the trees and start gaining a bunch of health, and I think we'll recover back out of this. Right, so we can drop the Spritelings here. We can play Heart of the Tree and get more Spritelings for the next turn, go back up to 10 health. I mean, we've got Deny and shit out here. I'm pretty certain that we're okay. Touch awkward hitting on the portal. I think it'll be okay though. Do we ever just get a lethal here? I guess that's a valid thing to call out. Looks like we'll hit for 5 with the Narwhal. Alright, well this will at least get Kato off of the board. And then I still feel pretty good with the sleep for the next turn. That's lethal, bro. Alright. Sometimes it's enough. GG. Well played. On to the next one. That's good stuff right there. You could see how easily we were going to kind of recover out of that with all of the trees. You're going to put the Spritelings on the board, gain the health, grow the units, then be ready for the next combat with a sleep and with a deny. Like, that was a pretty good position to be in. I'm still not 100% certain about some of the numbers. Like, one of the cards I would like to get in here is the new double stun. I think it's an Ionia card, right, that stuns a unit this turn, stuns a unit next turn. Does give us... Like, one of the issues that you kind of run into is you'll get into games like that, is to where the opponent's at 7 and you just need to chip in a little bit of damage. And that stun does quite a bit of work in terms of freeing up one of your units to come in and crash for damage. So, something I'm interested in, probably just cut Lillia for it, but not quite certain. Not quite certain. It's tough to really tell with the numbers of what you want with these things. It's still a little early in the format. You have a lot of options in terms of, taking down the smaller units with things like Pytos and Gloom abilities, and with things like Glare. So take a little bit of figuring out. He didn't want to combat our junk construct, huh? That's okay. I got another one.
Sentinel of Light at your service.
Ezreal coming in with 3 mana behind. I got to assume that he's got the boost spell in hand. Oh, we're just getting the trades across the board. That is the most beautiful thing I've seen today. I appreciate that. Get the portals in the deck. You know, the thing that I always talk about is the idea with Poppy, right? You would rather boost 1 unit, or you'd rather boost 5 units than boost 1 unit, and getting that access is what lets you do that. You know, just trading out the units here does not seem like a super ideal play. Now we can potentially take down Lux here. I think I like this. We're going to look to block Lux with Conchologist, and then both Shadow Shift the Conchologist back and pop her barrier.
Persistence is key.
I think this is okay. I mean, it might realistically be more worthwhile to just block the Uncle Milty, but I feel like this is going to be good. If we get the Lux off the board, great. If we get a random combat trick out of the opponent's hand, that would be pretty good as well. Okay, Norra turns up with the old Puffcap Peddler on the board. We'll drop Norra. We can draw a card if we want to with the Mr. Root. Seems like a pretty good Notify. Cancel the Gloom ability, cancel the card draw. I like it.
Oh good. More fodder for a pointless struggle.
Ooh, that's a generated cat, right? You get the bonuses. The cat's one of the cards people have been brewing around. If you're not familiar with the interaction, if the cunning cat comes out of a sleep, it gets the +2/+1 and you get to draw the card. And so a powerful thing that it's capable of doing there. Nobody's really figured out how to make the PNZ deck work. But there's something there, maybe.
Vex insists that it is not a thing.
All right. So do we even care about any of this stuff? It's a valid question. He's going to kill off the Norra. If we want the best eclectic collection we can do, we would want to do it right now. I don't think I even care. Let's get that out of here. I do like this early bird. We just need to stall for a moment, and we'll be okay. So we should be able to early bird. He's going to try and Lux Illuminated spell after this, whatever I think. Right, he's going to play the 3-mana boost thing, and then we'll just Notify it and nuke his hand, and this game will be done. I think that's where we're going to be here. Got his Tree Spirits out of hand. Interesting. Just had another one. Okay, yeah, I think we're in great shape. We're going to lose Norra, but everything else here is looking pretty fine to me. Take a little bit of impact damage. He's got a big boost next turn as well.
Let's think this through.
We fight together.
Would a mushroom help?
So let's see. Let's just go ahead and throw away the Gloom unit. I'm putting the Puffcat Peddler in front of the Tree Spirits so that we can kill it with the Glare. Right, he's going to be boosting next turn. I'd like to get as many of these units off of the board as we can. Do we have any portals? One portal. Okay. Is this guy a good hit? I have one attack for each 1-cost ally you've summoned this game. Not so much. Not so much, fam. What did we get? An early bird on the family reunion. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I am a little bit worried here. We're going to be taking a big old bunch of impact damage. Nothing we can do about it. We missed out on a boost. Well, I guess all of his units had impact as it is, so we didn't really miss out on anything. We're looking to take impact 6 next turn. Getting up to impact 9 potentially. Shadow Shift is quite strong. Right, we can put the... Oh, hang on, no, that's not going to work how we want. I thought that we were going to just dodge the impact with the Shadow Shift, and that's not how it works at all. Alright, so what can we do here? Right, it's impact 3 and impact 4. Oh, it's only 7. I was looking at the spirit numbers and getting a little bit confused.
Persistence is key.
So I think this is okay. Would we prefer to hit with Conchologist as opposed to Mr. Root? think so. Like, it would be an incredible hit to hit something like Wallop. Stress defense might be kind of useful in this space, and so I think that's okay. Anything useful here? Sprite dance is where we want to be, right? That's a way to get rid of the impact problem that we have. That's kind of annoying. I've got to play something. I don't want to just finish this turn off overbanking any of our mana. So it's either Norra, which we could Sprite Dance the Mr. Root back onto Norra, but that's going to be getting us out of combat. Not really excited about that. Man, Norra is really close to flipping, though. Maybe we just play her. If we can get one more created ally on board and Norra flips, then she's going to be back to striking. And so maybe there'll be something with that. I guess the bummer here is when he boosts, our Norra is at risk. Kind of is what it is. I guess we can deny this though, right? And then say, you can't nopify this play, but you can deny it. Are a little short of getting created units on board though. Alright. Not dead yet. Not dead yet, are we, fam? There's a Norra flip.
By hook or by crook, I'll find you, dear cat.
So we gotta dodge a little bit here. I'm hoping if we get out of this turn, then we're gonna be okay. That's the thing we need. We just gotta get out of this turn, right? And so if we want to recall some spirit for whatever reason, we can put the Mr. Root in front of here.
Easy does it.
Granted spirit to Norra. And then let's also Eclectic Collection while we have 5 units on board.
Oh, I can hardly bear the excitement.
Alright. Hopefully we're good. I mean, we have a little bit of backup here with the Nopify Deny. Maybe we should have just held on to the Eclectic Collection so that we could potentially spend this. Right? If he's got one interactive card, we can stop it, but if he had 2, we would be kind of hosed. Glare onto Norra is fine. That's not killing us. Dude. Alright, fellas, keep them cheeks squeezed. Keep them tight. That's what we need, huh? So let's do this. Let's drop. I guess it doesn't quite matter. Well, yeah, we should put the Portal Scholar down first so that we get another potential hit when we draw off of the Mr. Root.
Oh, it's Milty, Mr. Mayor.
That was anticlimactic. I had such bigger hopes for what was about to happen there. The early bird away a form up. Alright, well, let's see what we can do with combat.
Off we go. Just a hollow shell.
How's my form? Come on, boys. Now.
We should be able to get some of these units off the board, right?
Feelings.
We've got 3 damage in hand with the Pie Toss and the Denies that we could potentially play. I was hoping we might be able to just outright kill him. It's not quite the case here, but I had some dreams. I had some hopes. Our units were all too big to just like block an impact and try and pull it back. Get this one dude out of here. We might be able to do something. I don't know. I'm not. We need a big hit off of Norra, right? If we spike like a lifesteal unit or something, that might do it. I don't know. Maybe. Mini T. I feel like these aren't the answers we were looking for. So close with the heart of the tree turning up as well. Damn. Damn. GG.
Another time, another place.
Like we were so close to pulling that one out. But all right, 2 games at the 25-minute mark. Let's get in a game 3 and see what we can do. The final battle of the day. We used to get in 8, then the game slowed down. We could only get in like 5, and now we're out here playing Norra and Jace, only able to get in 3. Times change, my dudes. But yeah, that's kind of one of those games where it's like, I look at that and it's like, what would Lillia have done? And she could have maybe done a little bit of something. I would have just, at every point of the game, rather her been the stun card, though. Alright, final battle, though, up against Elder Dragon, Aurelion Soul. We're definitely happy to hang on to our early birds. We'll get rid of the Blooming Bud and the Glare. I don't think they'll have an answer to Norra immediately. Like, the being in Targon, they have to have a shooting star, or whatever that thing is called, that deals damage to a unit that attacked. And if that's what happens to our Norra, I'm pretty certain I'm okay with it. Right, so she's going to strike for the portal like every time. He's going to try and drop shooting star on her. Yeah, falling star. It's completely okay. Like, I guess if we really wanted to, we could have pushed with Conchologist and tried to hit a combat trick or something, but that all sounds pretty challenging to pull off. It's kind of tempting to take the Gruesome Theater and just send that unit back to hand, but I think we're leaning towards the tag out here. We should find pretty good targets to recall back to his hand. Look at that, Lillia turned up. The singular copy. Lots of good targets out here. Sleep the Scholar, sleep the Mr. Root. It's not that bad. Maybe Tag Out's the kind of card we would like to play in this. Oh, we're gonna have to start early birding next turn. So the Cloud Drake is fairly ignorable. I think I want to just get Lillia down and then block so we get the 1 mana sleep and then just sleep off the Portal Scholar and call it a day. Call it a day. That was a pretty good Lillia, huh? It's pretty good, pretty effective. Yeah, I'm just going to look to come down and try to not die. It's going to be very challenging for us to win any of these combats with him having dragons on board. And then we'll look and see if we can't get a big eclectic collection and just grind this game down. So we got his Elder Dragon out of hand. Not certain how many copies they play. I assume it's like 3, right? If he's showing up to the left of Aurelion Soul, he's probably playing 3 Elder Dragons and 3 Aurelion Souls. But we at least got the little problem out of the way.
I tried to grow other friends before. They all died.
Not super excited to see Avarosian Trapper turn up.
To the world below.
I don't like that at all. Let's at least get Norra in here.
Joy is a good look in a book and a cat in a lap.
Goes deathless. Okay. Got our sleeps and stuff though. Let's send it on. Maybe we'll as I say, maybe we'll spike a portal and then just be able to immediately eclectic collection. I mean, I don't particularly care about any of these combats. Asol comes in. This is tough. This is tough. And like, I don't really care about these combats as much as it sucks to. Maybe we just have to try and harder the tree out of this. Is it just like he's eventually going to spike a giant celestial off of Aurelion Soul, and there's not really anything we can do about it.
To the stars.
He is at 28. If he tries to get overly clever, we can look to sleep off the Cloud Drake to keep him from flipping Aurelion Soul. I don't think it's going to really be worthwhile. Okay. Well, one can dream, right? He might run into that spot to where he needs to hit big cards with Aurelion Soul, and then he just starts to find the one cost, the Equinox and stuff, and so. Right, it's when you play Aurelion Soul, you get the expensive Celestial, but at the round start, you get a random. So, we can fight through this for a while. There's a lot of shitty cards for Aurelion Soul to hit. We just spiked an Ocean Drake. Okay. So yeah, we'll add the Yeti. We'll Eclectic Collection, and then see if we can't hit something big on our portal thing next turn. Still a winnable game. I can't tell you the number of times I've... Oh, just hit supernovas, huh? I guess. As I'm about to say, I can't tell you the number of times that I've gotten into these combats and then just had pure dog shit turn up for turn after turn after turn after turn with Aurelion Soul.
I do love
Getting the supernova start's not that bad, my friend. Can't really let the Elder Dragon get these big attacks in. Like that's the Aurelion Soul is manageable. A flipped Elder Dragon is not. So we'll see how this shakes out. Can't be blocked by enemies with less health than me. Hang on. I gotta reread this and remember how it works. When I'm summoned, swap my health with your Nexus health, which would be 13. Enemies... I can't be blocked by enemies with less health than me. So we might be able to get a Gorlith attack in next turn. Okay. He can't kill us with this board. Very interested to see if he just tries to pass. Got these 20 puff caps in here. That's how we're gonna bring things down. That's how we're gonna finish off the day. just gonna blast them with those puff caps. Okay.
They walked around.
Hang on. What just happened? Oh, our Nexus health is 5. Oops, that's not doing anything near what I wanted it to do. I guess we're a lot further away from death, but I'll be real with you. This is the first time I've ever put a Gorlith the Unscalable on the board, and that was a bit of surprise what just happened there. All right, yeah, this is probably done. I was expecting a little bit more out of our boy Gorlith. Units we don't care about, sure. Deathless on a bunch of dragons just literally does not matter. Any of you guys useful? Not really. Okay, we'll call it a day here. That's the exact problem with the Norra decks, right? This has historically been a problem with Norra. That's why I called it out earlier. Playing against the Elder Dragons and playing against the likes of Mordekaisers tends to be a real pain point, since there's like a real line in the sand as to where Norra is quite good against everything that is like, in terms of speed, I should say, in terms of how fast you're trying to close out the game. So if something like Annie Gen is the fastest thing, and then it goes up the road to something like, I don't know, like Pirates, and then it goes up the road a little bit to something like a boost deck, and then it goes up the road a little bit to some kind of value-y kind of deck. Like, Norra is exceptionally good against all of that. You could say, like, up to the point of the Elder Dragons deck that is running around, right? You have a reasonable matchup against it. You die to the Elder Dragon, but you are able to early bird it out of hand and stuff, and you run into a lot of games like how that last game was progressing, as to where they have a bunch of units on board, they can't actually deal any damage, and you can just grind out the game forever and ever. Like, you're good up to that point, and then there's just like this line in the sand to where you can't beat anything slower than that. Their late game is just better than your late game, and you might be able to construct something to where you Eclectic Collection for some puff cap damage, and then you hit some impacts on Portal Scholar. But when you're playing against triple Aurelion Soul, triple Elder Dragon, you're not winning that game ever. Like, you can't early bird enough of those late game threats out of their hand for it to be relevant. And so it's just something that Norra has always run into. Well, it doesn't matter if it was Norra Swain or Norra Vagar or what it was. They've all run into that problem. And that was a problem for this deck as well. So I was not surprised to lose that last game. But it's still, a reasonably powerful deck in my mind. It should be able to really pick on and prey the faster decks of the meta. You can really just tune your deck to be quite good against those, and then ignore that those top-end decks actually exist that you can't beat. Now, I do still kind of like having things like Eclectic Collection in here. It's not the most powerful thing that you can be doing, but the late game stuff right now in the game, right after rotation, isn't that good. And so you are kind of stuck trying to play cards like Eclectic Collection, just because the top end that used to exist doesn't really exist anymore. But at the end of the day, the big play for us is, of course, the Heart of the Tree. I think it was quite good. I think it was great in all of those games. Wasn't the most strong manifest in that last game once I realized what was happening with Gorlith and stuff, but this card is very capable of just taking down games on its own, hitting a thing like Atacan or something, or any of the other just gigantic 8/8 overwhelms that you get to put on the board for 4 mana. Very good at closing the games down, to where I think with this, in my mind, the ability that we're probably really interested in is Grant Allies Everywhere Spirit. But it's, if you want to kind of compare this to playing the Freylordian versions of Norra, to where you're just playing Freylord for the Beast Within, or whatever the Udyr card is that gives all of your units everywhere +1/+1. If that's what we're looking to get for out of the Heart of the Tree, then it does, all this other stuff is just bonus, right? The units bonus, the heals bonus, the manifest is bonus, and it still feels like a pretty good deal all around. And I think this is a quite strong card. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching it. This is Busted Me. Thank you for being here.